optimism.
What's this? He
Gotta
tries.
love his. Yes.
He tries. I'll be right back. All right, Steph, I'm gonna start. Yes. Oh, that's James. Pokemon Go. It's gotta be. Oh, that's so terrible. Yeah, it is James. Every day. Guaranteed that kid doesn't play Pokemon Go every day. Oh, what do we got here? New member, A to Z of Gaming. Wow, Gaz. Yeah, thank you, Gaz. James. I don't care if the kid plays Pokemon Go every day. Not even a little bit. Gaz, thank you for the membership. Yeah. Imagine not playing Pokemon Go. I don't know. I don't play it. James.
I have a pen.
We're gonna have to mute
I
this.
have an apple. Apple pen.
Pineapple pen. That's what I want. Make that one. Sing it, James, and make a pineapple pen. What the heck, Lee? Was that you? You did? Oh, Jar Jar Binks. Oh my gosh. I hate Jar Jar Binks, and I cannot wait to say how much I hate Jar Jar Binks.
Well, you gotta wait another 7 minutes or so.
7 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, getting a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Mr. Boston with happy
Oh my
scenes
gosh.
again.
No more blurps. They're banned on the channel now. I am on my way. Blurps are now banned.
This is what happened to the crisps one on Streamlabs. You overdid it, and now it's extortion.
Crisps and chips. I hate that a lot of these older streams have mute in them because of these stupid copyrights that are just happening 5 years later.
There must be like a time frame, like where
No.
it's like, hey, well, you're just copywriting it now.
It could be
after
like
5
15 years, and they're like, I'm going to copyright this.
Yeah, it's like. Like, kind of just makes you think, like, if someone then owns the rights to that song, like as in like today they bought the right of that song.
Yep.
And then they thought, well, let's go back to all these things that happened 5 years ago.
It's
and let's
true.
copyright all that.
That's what they do. And it's frustrating.
Such a douche move.
It is a douche canoe move.
I've got to be careful with what I say.
How come?
James will blurp it.
Oh. Well, when you say you are memberless, he's gonna clip that for sure. Now he has a brand new laptop. It looks like he's got it out, so just be careful. Just be careful. He's got that. He's all set and ready. I bet he bought a stream deck just to do clips. Just press that button to clip it instead of going through the website. Clip, clip, clip. Bow, bow. Hey! It's funny that I get more people on YouTube than I do on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes in waves. I'd say YouTube is more user friendly. I think Twitch is.
Lightsy is better. Listen to Gaz. Mr. Elgato. Yeah. Lightsy is better. That's funny. One sec there, Mark's just messaging me. So Mark did watch The Phantom Menace this week.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. If you want to hook him up there.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, excuse me.
Right, he has the command, the role for it.
Oh, we're tied now. We're tied for Twitch and YouTube. Gaz, I don't know. So, Gaz, I've been dealing with insane copyrights for probably the last couple months from streams from like 5 years ago. Don't tell me YouTube is better, brother. YouTube. I said YouTube. YouTube is terrible. Oh my gosh, I just love YouTube. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. All right. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Right, you should have access to the voice chat.
All right. I just told him. Pokemon Go every day. Every day. Try Epidemic Sound. I have some of their stuff, but they're over. Oh, I almost said the O word.
No.
The majority of it isn't really that good, but some of the stuff I have used. If Lead Bad knows The Phantom Menace when he loves The Last Jedi, I'm gonna have some words. James, you should have watched The Phantom Menace this week and joined us. Just throwing that out there. All right, Mark should be getting in.
Well, I thought James didn't see The Last Jedi, Disney.
He hasn't seen it. No, he hasn't seen the last three. James is not even a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, so he can't even talk about it.
James is... Let's see. He would be classified as kind of like just a Star Wars friend, maybe? An acquaintance? A Star Wars acquaintance?
Yeah.
He was not a fan. Hey! welcome to the Pharaoh's name pending cinematic universe podcast TV show movie thing. Welcome. We are going to be chatting about movies and TV shows today. And let's just give a shout out to the chat. Thank you so much, Giggity Gaz. It's online time. Just Lightsy, Ultimate Hater, Cat Drinks, Jam Master James. Thank you guys so much for showing up today. And our lurkers, of course, on Twitch, or it's probably the same people on Twitch as well. So today we are going to be talking about some news, some movie news. Caitlin, we're going to be talking about the Resident Evil Netflix show. Me and Lee pounded through all 8 episodes. We pounded through it. And then we're going to be finishing the show with the Phantom Menace. We'll probably do all the Star Wars movies in order and get them done and discuss some things and make sure it's all done. And watched it once and not again. I've seen... and Parodius, yeah! I've watched the Phantom Menace at least 15 to 20 times because I love it, even though I have some issues with it. And I've seen, and I'll tell you right now, I've seen the documentary of the making of the Phantom Menace as much, if not more, than the Phantom Menace because I loved that documentary so much. Lee, have you seen it?
Maybe once.
Oh, it's so good. One of the big things that pop in my head, and we'll get into this. I know I'm jumping right into the Phantom Menace stuff, but let me talk about the documentary. Is you got George Lucas and the head guy for, I think it's ILM. And they're going back and forth on how much this is going to cost and this is going to cost. And they're bickering and you're yawning, covering it up. And this part where he's like, George Lucas... He's like, hey, can we do this? And he goes, yeah, that'll save about $1 million. And George Lucas comes out, hey, $1 million saved is $1 million earned. Can you imagine to be able to say $1 million saved is $1 million earned? That's a lot of freaking money to me. $1 million. Anyways, all right. So let's just chat first about Anne Heche. Are you familiar with Anne Heche or Heche, however you would not pronounce her last name? I've always known it as Heche, but you don't know her?
No.
Okay, no, she had just passed away, and apparently she was an actual fantastic person as someone who was nice. Her movies, first she was somebody who had dated Ellen DeGeneres. She was known big for that. I don't know exactly, Catrix, I don't know exactly what happened to her, but she was still acting. She has 3 TV shows and movies in post-production. Dr. Quinn Brody. But some of her super popular stuff, she was on Chicago PD. Steph and I love Chicago PD. Or some of the older folks call it Chicago. Chicago PD. I just love Chicago PD. She was on Volcano. She did a Psycho movie, and she's best known for that Psycho movie of being able to see... She was a girl in the shower, and you can see her bumhole. And so that is what she was best known for. And because you don't see bum holes in movies. I'm just throwing that out there. You see boobs, you see everything else. You see male units, but you never see bum holes. Speeding down the street and her car slammed in the house. Is that what it is? She did a Paul Walker? It's been a long day that you, my friend. She drove into a post at high speed. Why? Why drive down the road at high speed? There's a speed limit for reasons. All right, well, that's crazy. Anyways, I'll say something super insensitive here, so I shouldn't keep going. She was on Ally McBeal. What else? Yeah, she was on the Ellen Show. All right, cool. I didn't realize she was on the Ellen Show. But yeah, Murphy Brown. I'm whipping out super. Oh, the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't want to say that word in case UT doesn't like it. Oh, it don't matter, dude. They allow everything for copyright anyways. But rest in peace, Anne Heche. Thank you for the good things you're doing. The last video I seen of her was a TMZ video, and she was helping a homeless dude just on the street. She was giving him food and a drink and all that other stuff. As anybody who has tons of money really should. If you're walking, like I did it. I went to New York City. I remember giving a homeless dude on the street pizza because we had extra. It was the thing to do, and I don't have tons of money. I was just happy to help someone out. Cool. All right. So rest in peace, Hesh. That really sucks. And I don't know of anyone else who may have passed this week. Oh, in the last 2 weeks, though, who else did we had?
Olivia Newton-John, right?
Olivia Newton-John. She had just passed this week too. And my wife loves Grease. That's one of her fave movies of all time. And Olivia Newton-John, of course, is on there. But she was huge in the 80s. She really was. And lots of good movies, lots of good songs, content, and all of that. And Lee, you are a tired boy, sir. Lee is yawning like crazy. I see those nostrils flaring. And he's yawning a lot. All right. And did we cover... basketball great. Oh my gosh. How am I forgetting? Number 6, Boston Celtics. How am I forgetting? Paul is Danny. Yeah, could you? That would be so funny. And who else? Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek. She had passed away. I need to start getting a list. Your life loves grease. Don't either of you ever clean? Well, yeah. You have something else more important than money. Well, you have a lot of friends. Yeah, but I want money too, Proteus. I want money too. I want millions and millions of dollars. Ching ching. I want that big casino money. That's what I want. But yeah, we had a lot of people who passed away in the last 2 weeks, and it's been I guess in the entertainment world, we'll call it, because sports is even entertainment as well. A lot of people passing, and so that really sucks. Anyone that I miss, Lee?
Not to my knowledge. No, I can't say that you have.
Crap, I keep forgetting. The guy's name is Bill Russell. My apologies. Bill Russell, amazing man, broke a lot of ground in diversity within the world, within basketball, all of that stuff. So it's just incredible. The entire NBA is now going to retire his number 6 for all teams. So in the future, no one will be able to use number 6. That's how Bill Russell, that's how, I guess, amazing of a person and a player he really is. Legendary Bill Russell. Amazing man. Just incredible. The MVP's named after him. And if you want to look at someone, some of his accolades that he's done and just broke through, tore down barriers, and it's amazing. It is really good. So Bill Russell, yeah, rest in peace, Bill Russell. That affects me more because basketball is definitely my forte. I absolutely. Raymond Briggs passed away. Who is this? Who's Raymond Briggs? Raymond Briggs. He looks British. He is British. Okay. You know what's funny is you British folks have a look. You British folks, but we won't get into it. Lee's gonna be like, what? I miss Robin Williams. Yeah, Robin Williams. Rest in peace. All right, let's hop into our news, Lee. What do you got for news for this week or last 2 weeks? I guess 2 weeks in news.
Sure. Is Mark going to join us?
I don't know. So just keep going.
Sure. Right. So first off, we got the She-Hulk show. That's going to be starting in 4 days.
Okay. Are you going to watch She-Hulk?
Yeah. Though I'm not overly excited about it. It's going to be like 9 episodes. I think like from the trailers, the CGI it's a bit ropey. It's at this stage.
Yep.
So, but I'm sure they're going to do an all right job. It's just like there's many factors into it, and I think it's going to be like a recurring issue, particularly with She-Hulk, about the CGI. But yeah, I mean that's coming up on the 18th.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be good. And then and it's on Disney Plus. They'll be releasing them weekly.
Oh, I hate that. Give it to me all in one. So should we watch that and cover it each week or every 2 weeks or no?
That's entirely up to you.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to save it for the end and then sort of say, hey, well, this is what happened, and then or not do it at all, that's up to you.
She-Hulk. We'll see.
Then there's the Andor show that's coming up
Oh, ooh,
on
yes.
the 21st of September.
Okay, we're still a ways
Um,
out.
yeah. But it's 12 episodes. And yeah, I have minimal interest, but I will still watch it.
What? What are you doing? Star Wars is like life. What are you doing? It should be flowing through your veins. You should
Well,
be
yeah,
into the. What do you mean? I'm not excited for Andor.
but it, because we know how that character ends, and it's like he was still a bit of a numpty in that film. So this is meant to be taking place before that, where he has less character development, and we're supposed to be rooting for him then as well. Like I don't know. Like that's the problem with a prequel like this.
The
You're meant to be
problem
rooting for.
is, you movie and TV snobs, you just can't enjoy new stuff coming out. It's just like, well, I don't. This is the James effect that has on this channel. This is James's fault. All of this. We need less of everything.
No, no, because I'm not like I'm got a problem with the Disney aspect of it. It's the character.
Why though?
Like
It could be great.
because he was quite like because in Rogue One he was quite like a ruthless character,
Yep.
and he needed to like learn better and like stuff like that, and that's what he got from Jyn Erso. But this show is set before that, before those events.
Sure.
So he's meant to be a ruthless douchebag.
Oh,
Like
this is terrible. Like,
so it's like I can't root for the character
Big Casino
because
just said Star Wars is life. Thank you, Big Casino. This is a
so
problem. We've got James, he's really not a Star Wars fan. He just likes the first three movies and tolerates the second three movies. Lee says he's a Star Wars fan.
I am though.
Give me more. Okay, the universe needs. The problem is with you young people. That you young people, you don't appreciate. You can't appreciate the awesomeness of the visual aspect of these old stories. When I was your age, we didn't have all these movies and TV shows. All we had was the comic books, or we had books. Books suck. Paul just aged 20 years. I totally did. But now I appreciate to see all of these visually amazing TV shows. Give me good stories. Give me those ruthless douchebags. I want to see them in their own story. That was a weird looking thing.
Yeah, I
that
saw
just
that.
happened. Wow, okay. I want to see it. I love it. I want to see more. I want to see tons more. And Lee grew up with Teletubbies and stuff like that. Oh, no. All right, Lee. I
Puts
just
things in perspective.
I can't believe as soon as we hear it's all quiet, and then from a galaxy far, far away, that's what I cannot wait to see. It just gets you excited and fun, and
Yeah.
I am just happy.
Yeah, but I'll tell you which film that doesn't happen in. Rogue
One, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know
So
the
you're waiting
TV
for it, and
shows
it's not
have
even
it.
gonna happen.
It will happen. You wait and see. It will happen.
TV shows don't have it.
And I'll say, Rogue One is the
Mandalorian
best
doesn't
Star
have
Wars
it.
movie out of all of them. I'm just saying. Rogue One
I
is
beg to
the
differ.
best Star Wars
That's
one
fine.
out of all of them. All right, keep going.
No, it's not.
Thank you, Disney, for being amazing.
You're just turning on everyone today.
I am turning on everybody. If no one's going to stand with me other than Big Casino, we're throwing fists. Let's go. What else? What else you got? Andor's going to be good. Can't
Right.
wait.
And there's a John Wick 4
Yes.
chapter 4 going to be released in early 2023.
It's going to be the longest one out of all of them. Have you seen any of the
yes.
John Wicks?
No.
Get your wick out and shake it all over the place, dude. These are brilliant. They're incredible. The John Wick movies are awesome. The action, it's all action, but it's not like explosions and craziness. It is intense, outrageous, amazing, just pop, 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 pop. John Wick kills 6,000 guys in one room. It's incredible. He goes in,
Well,
he
yeah.
could go into a stadium of 50,000 people by himself and kill everybody, even if they were all coming after him. He could do it. He's that good. It is fantastic. Sorry, every news you bring out, I'm going to interrupt and talk about it.
No, please do.
But James did mention the Lord of the Rings, so make sure in the future if you can bring out some Lord of the Rings news, TV show from Amazon Prime. That's probably the most excited show that I'm just ready for more Lord of the Rings. I need more Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
James will probably say I don't need any more Lord of the Rings unless it's more. But no, give me a whole bunch more. Sorry.
Like I think I think I'd want more Lord of the Rings. I just think what it seems that they're giving us doesn't seem that appealing.
I'm out of here. Lee, come on. You guys got to stop this. All right. Listen, we do need original ideas. We totally do. But in today's day and age, the original ideas don't get the attention they deserve. So they're forced to give us backstories. And I want the Lord of the Rings universe dripping all over my face, neck, and chest. That's what I want.
Yes, but it's like of all it just looks like what they're showing us is just like I don't know, like an offshoot of Game of Thrones. Like that's like in terms of Lord of I think they could have gone for something a lot more interesting. But but hey, I mean, I'm just gonna shut up.
No, you keep going and spewing. Well, all of the people, the millions watching, are grabbing their pitchforks and knives or spears. I'm excited.
Hey, they don't know where I am.
Oh, really? We're doxing Lee. All right, so I get it, but we haven't really seen, even though the trailer came out and it looked really freaking good. I guess for me, when I was a young boy, the whole D&D, the whole Dungeons and Dragons, the whole RPG stuff was big, and it's kind of laying low. There needs to be an explosion of movies and TV shows of that world again. Yes, Game of Thrones has it, but really Game of Thrones is more about boobies than anything. Which I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Speaking of which, there's
boobies or Game of Thrones?
The D&D.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's been like a trailer released for a D&D film.
What?
Yeah. It stars Chris Pine.
What?
I'll put it I'll get it up for the chat for you.
So Gaz just said, and that's what I'm talking about. The Dungeons and Dragons cartoon's amazing. I loved that cartoon. They actually have statues out there, like of each of the characters. I thought it was amazing. These kids go to a fun park. They go on this little roller coaster thing, and they're warped into this world of Dungeons and Dragons, and they're trying to get back home. It is so fantastic and amazing. I'll never forget that. But when we were kids, that's all we had as a reference, other than like Krull, movies like Krull and stuff like that. Or Clash of the Titans, Krull. Who's seen Krull? Anybody in chat? Have you seen Krull?
I've just put the link in the chat for the trailer.
Hold on, kids. A dragon. Honor among thieves.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves.
That's Chris Pine's voice right there.
And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge.
Let me pause it. Is it bad that I want to see like a 10-year plan of all D&D stuff? Like you've got the rogue, you've got the thief, you've got the warrior, like just do backstory.
No, I think that would be awesome.
I think that would be awesome. I think Marvel has set the pathway of success for franchises to do something epic, like stories and stuff that's laying. Like you could do a 10-year D&D sort of action plan, and here we are. I want to see a movie all about friggin' wizards fighting. I don't want to see Harry Potter wizards. I want to see You Shall Not Pass. I want to see those wizards doing crazy stuff, fighting and going nuts. That's what I would like to see. That dragon looks crazy. Now, how many people are going to gripe and complain and say that looks like Game of Thrones? I'll tell you right now, D&D was well before Game of Thrones.
Oh, absolutely.
I like Chris Pine. I think he's a good actor. I loved him as Captain James T. Kirk. I thought he was awesome. And I want to see more Star Trek movies. Come on. All right, sorry. Go ahead. Lee, what else we got here, Duna? Who said, yeah, I remember Kroll. Yeah. All right, sorry, guys. Go ahead. I'm off the charts today. And we're just in news. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
I mean that's pretty much what I've got for news. I've seen Bullet Train. So.
All right. Lee is going to give us a spoiler-free Bullet Train breakdown, I guess. I will watch Bullet Train. We were going to go see it. I'd love to see Young Gandalf movie TV series. Oh my gosh. You're speaking my language. Big Casino needs to come on here now because he's on my side. Sorry, go ahead. Okay, this actually looks really good.
Yeah, the D&D film.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm reserving my expectations at this point.
When the dude puts up a shield to block, like when he puts up a magic shield to block that fireball, that's what I want. I want to see epic D&D. It's about time. It is about time this stuff starts coming up. It's gone too long. Dungeons and Dragons, the last several Dungeons and Dragons were like Marlon Wayans comedy relief sort of silliness. I want to see a really, really freaking good D&D. Oh my gosh, it actually has, okay. They have the chest that is kind of a monster inside the chest. That's cool. That's a little, have some Diablo-ish. All right, I'm not watching anymore. That's a really cool scene at the very end, towards the end, Jam. All right, go ahead. All right, give us a breakdown on Bullet Train starring Brad Pitt and whoever else.
Yes. Whoever else. It stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Joey King. Need the whole list up.
We don't need everybody.
Brian Tree Henry, and so forth. And it's a film that's set on a train the whole time, and it's a train that's essentially full of like assassins and hitmen, and they're all after their essentially their own agenda, where but they're generally therefore like similar MacGuffins. And MacGuffin is a plot point that everyone wants for their own reason.
All right, I was about to say, is that a British thing? Oh, the MacGuffins? Like, I just heard MacGuffins, lads. I don't know.
It's a film term.
Oh.
And it's directed by the same guy who's heavily involved with Deadpool 2, Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde, and the first John Wick.
I didn't see Atomic Blonde.
I haven't either. But so we can sort of get an idea on what he does, and I'd sort of say like, well, it's, if you had to compare it to anything, it would be like loosely, in a very loose sense, it would be a mixture of like Pulp Fiction and Deadpool on a train.
Okay.
But very loosely based.
So, no, of course. So there is, are you saying Pulp Fiction as in there's silly things that that are in it that's Pulp Fiction-ish, or Quentin Tarantino esque?
I'd say, well, it's like in the sense of that there's multiple like sort of small stories and they all intertwine.
Okay.
Like so you see every character's like personal backstory, and then they all come together in like from their own points of view.
Okay. I'm looking at the list of cast, and they've got Sandra Bullock, which I didn't realize. Bad Bunny, who is a rapper. That Joey King. Hey. But was it Hiroyuki Sanada? He's actually really awesome. And Masi Oka, who plays a conductor too. All right.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect to see a lot of them.
Yeah, this seems like a cast that has quite a bit of not, I guess, big names, medium names, and people like me that knows their names and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I
so
mean,
go ahead.
as it stands, hasn't got very good reviews.
Oh, yeah, reviews are garbage. I
Yeah.
hate going off of reviews because the stuff
Yeah,
that I
yeah, same
like,
here.
the majority of stuff I like, it takes a special personality to like a lot of that stuff.
Mm, mm.
Catrix, I'm seeing it because of Bad Bunny. That's awesome. Self-proclaimed one of the greatest, Bad Bunny. Oh, it's so funny. So, if you were to break it down from the Leroy Jenkins highway of ratings, would it be one out of 1 to 10? What would you give this movie?
6.5.
6.5. Okay, so this is a spoiler free of Bullet Train. We're not going to talk a lot about it because it's not our main topic. We're about to go into the Resident Evil TV show from Netflix, which will be which will be spoiled. I'm just throwing that out there. But we will give you plenty of warning before we're like, hey, we're going to spoil this. We're going to spoil this. Blah blah blah. So Bullet Train actually looks good. Isaiah wants to see it, and we may go see it next weekend. We'll see. As he's out,
Yeah.
he's out with his buddy Cam today. So
It's it's a bit of fun. I think it sort of gets more ridiculous towards the end.
okay,
But I do like some how some of the action is done and how it's and how characters mix, I'd say. Because it does recur, and something else that recurs is like how much do you know about Thomas the Tank Engine?
too much, unfortunately, because of
Right,
Isaac.
right. Well, it's relevant for the film. Just saying.
All right. Well, I see that Masioka plays the conductor. So that. Oh my gosh, James Hurley.
Not quite that.
All right. Well, we'll see. We will see.
Sure.
Okay. Thomas the Tank Engine, Bullet Train. So Brad Pitt. Here's my thing with Brad Pitt. I like a lot of his movies. I don't know if there's a Brad Pitt movie that I've seen. I'm like, I hate this. The same thing with Tom Cruise. I like all his movies. Can't stand the guy. But Brad Pitt, I don't even know if I have a reason to not like the guy, other than stealing Angelina Jolie from me. That would be the only real reason that I would dislike Brad Pitt. Angelina, call me. So,
Have you seen a film with Brad Pitt called Ad Astra?
Yes. Ad Astra. Hold on. Wait.
Terrible.
Ad Astra. Hold on. I know it. That's not like 3 hours, is it, or something like that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was boring.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
it was
I did.
terrible.
Yes. It had Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, Donald
Yes.
Sutherland. Just as a heads up, Donald Sutherland, who is Kiefer Sutherland's dad, Donald Sutherland, an amazing actor.
Yeah.
From here.
Oh, really?
From here.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's I believe it's Rothsay, New Brunswick, which is 10-minute drive from me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
just throwing that out there. Donald Sutherland, which is cool. Let's see what it has. All right, yeah. So Ad Astra, yeah. Oh, it's okay. Born in Saint John, New Brunswick, Canada. That's in 1935. So Donald Sutherland, born in Saint John, New Brunswick. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Rothsay, but either way, it's still considered Saint John. So there we go. Donald Sutherland from my city, and my city is not huge. I think we got 65,000 people, and back then it would be a whole lot less. So yeah, the great Donald Sutherland, Saint Johner. That's awesome. Ringo Starr going to be the narrator. Okay. Anything else about? All right. Cool. It's okay. Cool. James. Anything else about Bullet Train? Would you recommend we all go see it?
I mean, depending on how old you are, yeah. Like if what, as in, like Isaiah, yes. Isaac, probably not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I see what you're
That
saying.
kind of stuff.
Okay. So, would you go see this again?
Yes.
Oh, and you only gave it a 6.5?
Yes, because there's layers to it that are that I think would be interesting to see now that you know what happens.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Excellent. Anything else about Bullet Train before we move on to Resident Evil?
No, I'm good.
Okay. We are going to start with Resident Evil now. Now, Resident Evil is the new Netflix TV show that came out not too long ago. It is 8 episodes. Now, it has, let me just say, throw out some of the actors. It is Lance Reddick, who is an amazing actor. I love Lance Reddick. I think he's awesome in everything he does. His acting, though, is just great. He's a phenomenal actor. Now, Lee, we'll get into this. Just hang tight. Then we have what was it? Young Billy, is it? Hold on here. Oh, sorry. Older Jade is Ella Balinga, and then Tamara Smart is young Jade. Sienna Agadong is young Billy. Adeline Rudolph is older Billy. Now, those are the main actors, pretty much. And there's another girl too that works for Umbrella. Oh my gosh, look at this. New 84% will find a girl for you. Cool. Thank you.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah, sign me up too. Bam. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. There's new girls for us, Lee. Thank you so much. 69mega.com. That's so funny. Ching. Yes. So Resident Evil, here we go. Let's break it down. Now, this is something, Lee, I'm not a Resident Evil fan of the games. I don't like Resident Evil. It's just not for me.
X.
Mr. X especially is stupid. The main antagonist is, what is her name? Paola Nunez, which is Evelyn Marcus, who is like one of the heads for the Umbrella Company. So let's start off with episode 1. These are going to be spoilers. Okay? Spoilers for all 8 episodes, kind of not. We're not going to do a deep dive on Resident Evil. Okay? So spoilers. Spoilers, in case there's like 10-second spoilers. I need to come up with a sign that says spoiler alert on here. I will try to get this podcast looking better for next weekend because I love doing this movie podcast. I think it's great. So, Lee, what was your I'm not allowed to say the O word now. What was your full feeling about the TV show? Okay, your full feeling, the overall feeling about the TV show.
It was hard to watch.
How come?
It's hard to find anything good to say about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it somehow feels like it's expensive but cheaply made. And it's like the pacing is diabolical. Because why was the whole show centered around going back and forth on the what happens in 2036 and what happens in 2022? Why was that the thing throughout the whole show? It really messed up the whole pacing, and the acting from a lot of the characters was flat, and some, like the two sisters, Jade and Billy, were they meant to love each other? Were they meant to hate each other? Because it flipped on a dime.
You're an only child, right?
No.
Oh, no, you got a brother. That's right. You do have a brother.
Yeah.
Is he much older or no?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
Older.
All right. Keep going. Sorry.
And I understand that like sibling relationships can be like that, but not as a constant throughout the entire show.
Okay.
Not where it's like 5 minutes. Yeah, let's do this together. Then 5 minutes later, oh my God, you've betrayed my entire life. You know, like I hate you so much. Like I hate that because it's it's just to pad out the runtime. And it's like, it's not character development because they're not developing anything. If they just keep going through the same cycle, they're not learning anything. So it's just to pad out the runtimes. These 8 episodes, they did not need to be an hour. Not near enough for every single one. 40 minutes each, I think, could have done it. Still probably needed the 8 episodes, but not full hours. And it just made it really hard to watch. Every so often you got one of these sort of really on the nose, like melancholy music videos that you just got.
You mean the Billie Eilish music?
Yes, yes. and it was every so often. It was particularly relevant in like the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, I just want to say it is literally Billie Eilish music.
Yes.
All right, keep going. Sorry.
And but the thing is that the songs that they picked, they're so on the nose. It's like where there's no like underlying thing. It's like, literally the end of one episode, it was a cover of "You're Only Human After All," and it's
yes, that's right.
And it's like it was a slow tempo version of it,
even slower than the slow version.
Yes, and it's like, well, that is just so on the nose. While the kid in the background is turning into one of those zeros. In terms of Lance Reddick, I thought he was good. I wanted to see more. Ironically, the stuff that I wanted to see more with him was Bert, because at least he had a personality.
Oh, Lee. All right, we'll get to those episodes soon.
But my rant's over for the moment.
Okay, so
you go.
Me, I like the first 5 to 6 episodes. I liked it. I was like, this isn't bad. I can tolerate this. Like it wasn't bad, and then it took a major nosedive, crashed hard, and I will say the very ending song by Billie Eilish I actually liked and put in my Spotify playlist. But the other ones I didn't. Same with the "You're Only Human" or "I'm Only Human After All" stuff. I want to go just some notes that I took from episodes. Yeah, so hear me when I say the first 5 to 6 episodes I kind of liked. I didn't think they were great. This is something I don't want to continue watching. I don't need to continue watching. I saw the first season. I'm like, all right, let's not do this ever again. But
for the record, Paul, I don't hate everything. Just okay.
I didn't say it. I just agreed with James's statement. All right, let's jump into here's some gripes that I had. You're right about the sisters constantly going on, and it said my whole thing is it starts off with the older Billy or Jade. Sorry, the older Jade. And I was like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. Like starting off, I'm like, yeah, let's get this zombie action going. And then it got going. And I was like, wow, this part's stupid. Okay, that part's stupid. Why did they do that? And one of the things I said, why did the zombies chase her? And one jumped on her while the others were all of a sudden too stupid to go after her.
Yes.
Spoiler alerts, okay?
I find it hilarious that she was just able to just knock them over in certain parts.
I'm watching this, and she has 100 zombies chasing her. One catches her and jumps on top of her, and the other ones are like, oh, let's start dancing with each other. This is great. Well, our main zombie is killing her. Yeah, yeah. Why? Why did the other ones all of a sudden become stupid and like, no, we're not going to touch her. We'll let this dude do it. And he wasn't the king zombie. He was just the one to catch her. And so that frustrated me, and that was episode 1. The other thing was in episode 2, she survived a 50-foot jump out of a compound, at least 50 feet, jumped off this giant castle, okay? She's not superhuman or anything like that. She jumped.
Even though she's like an experiment.
Yeah.
Like
But she jumped off, dun, 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 landed on top of this truck, and was able to get up and start running.
yeah.
I'm like,
It's like you've busted your legs, like at the very least.
you busted your legs. It's all good. It's all good. So again, I want to say I still liked the show, the first 6 eps, but these are just some gripes that I had. And so for our next show, I'll break it down even more, have some likes and some pros, stuff like that. I did jump on to episode 5, and now this is what really, really irked me. And it's only because I don't know if they did this on purpose or what they thought. All right. So this is what they did. They finally introduced the older sister, older Billy. And so they took young Billy, had her as a character. And then in episode 5, for some odd reason, she's Japanese. I don't understand how that happened. I almost think you would have to do that for all characters for people to say, like, what are you doing? Like, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. But the girl who's young Billy is Hawaiian. And then they have a Japanese girl. Because I knew who it was. Oh, come on, haven't you suddenly woken up Japanese before? I haven't. But so I knew who that girl in the uniform was. I was like, oh, that's older sister. Obviously, it's just this is the way the show is going. And then it showed her in episode 5, and I'm like, I know it's because she said, "Hey, sister," or whatever, and I'm like, this girl doesn't look like young Billy. Not even like an inkling. She was Hawaiian as young and Japanese as old, and you could clearly tell there was some major differences. That's a young, like a 15-year, what did she say, 14-ish?
Yes, 14.
14 Hawaiian does not grow up to be a 25 Japanese?
I'd say 30 because
30? Okay.
It was like a 16-year difference.
16-year difference. She transformed. Maybe it's the experiment. I don't know. But anyways,
Maybe.
it didn't bother me. Because you could do that. That's fine. If that's how you want to do your show, that's fine. It's a race thing. Who cares? We're all equal. It doesn't matter. But I thought that was a little silly. I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of Hawaiian actors, I guess. You're probably better off just having a dude. Billy all of a sudden transformed, grew a wiener. Bam, I'm a dude. Hey, my brother Billy, you could have done that. So episode 7, this is where the show took a major dive for me. And I hated it. And there's only 2 eps left. Episode 7 was the clones. Again, spoiler alert. The dad is a clone, but there's also like several clones of the clones. And when he came down the stairs looking like Blade.
Yeah, Blade. That's exactly what I thought.
I hated like that.
Blade.
I hated that. I thought
that was hilarious.
No, Bert is a moron. There were some funny parts. There really was. When they're sitting in the Olive Garden, I thought that was funny. Ooh, unlimited breadsticks. Like, I thought that was funny.
So like, yeah, and it's like, oh, my girls want their unlimited breadsticks, and it's like, oh, it's 1 per table, but that's a limit.
Yeah,
just throws a tantrum and throws it on the ground.
Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, Wesker. Yeah, that's who it is. Wesker. It's the Wesker fam. I thought that was funny. I thought that was good. I love the fact that Bert is kind of superhuman and a ninja. I thought that was good. Yeah. I hated. I just didn't like his character. Oh, I almost said the O word. I just didn't like his character. I just didn't. I didn't like the whole clone thing. The whole clone thing is a way to keep somebody on the show forever.
Yes.
And it's frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah. So
because spoiler alert, the dad died.
He died at the end, but hey, Bert, I'm pretty sure is around. And so even though I get amazing actor Lance Reddick, if you guys are not sure who Lance Reddick is, search him up and just try to watch some movies with him. He's a brilliant actor. I love his acting. But as Bert, he's a moron.
but the thing is Albert He wasn't. He was terrible at acting with that
Yes.
because it's like, oh well, he's got the, like, in the third episode or something, there was like the timer where Billy could turn at any moment type stuff.
Yes.
And it's like he's driving around with a few minutes on, and he looks a-okay. It's like, dude, your daughter might be dead.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, my daughter's gonna die. My daughter's gonna die. It's yeah.
Like, have a smidge of emotion, like just anything. And
Yes, and he
so,
didn't. The Resident
yeah.
Evil dog was awesome. That was cool CGI. That was intense. I hated how stupid the younger sisters were. Let's break into Umbrella with our dad's info and
Yeah.
do all of this crazy stuff. And
To save a bunch of rabbits. And,
Yeah.
and not to mention that the first episode, they instigated a fight at the school because of being vegan. Like, that's literally why they fought. Hey, I'm vegan.
yeah, fight.
Smack. And it's like, and then Albert waltzes up and blackmails everyone and says, "Oh well, we're just gonna go now."
So now the vegan thing you can kind of understand is because the majority of vegans announce they're vegans even when they're a vegan in the room, even if there's no food whatsoever. They just walk in, I'm vegan, and that's it. So you kind of want to smack them for the most part. But no, you're right. You're right. It is silly. Also, she's on the boat. She finds the cure, kind of, or a resistance. Like, hey, if I put this blood on me, boom, nobody's going to come after me. No zombies. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break all the rules, get a dead zombie, or a zombie. It's the dead zombie. They're all dead. I'm going to get a zombie from the water, bring it on the boat. No one will know. Boys, I didn't see what happened next. I couldn't even think of that things were going to go wrong next.
That was never going to happen.
And then they just got what's that?
And then they just got the massive zombie crocodile that was just towing around on the boat.
That was my other thing. In episode 8, okay, they had this giant alligator / crocodile, 500 feet long. Okay, that's fine. That is their push the button sort of thing. Towards the end of episode 8, the boat's sailing away and they're dragging the crocodile away. Did you see that? And so she says, "Oh, you got to push the button because blah, blah, blah." And they're like, "Okay, let's push the button." She goes on the boat with her husband to find the daughter. The boat is sailing away. It already showed the boat sailing away, but at the end, Jade is able to run and do like a Superman dive, catch on the rope and get on the boat, even though it had to have been the slowest sailing boat of all time. But the amount of time that went in between of her getting to the island, running on the deck, and jumping onto the rope on the boat, it didn't make any sense to me.
No.
None whatsoever.
A lot of it didn't make a lot of sense. Like where they get Evelyn Marcus from 2036, and now she's just like a complete mind control thing with a tablet.
Yes.
And she's doing the dance like, do a full 180. And it's like, that's just stupid.
Exactly. They have this, the badass villain basically turn into some clown in episode 8.
Yes. And it's like, she looks no different, even though it's been like 16 years.
Yep. Also, I'm just, all these stupid things are popping in my head. Billy.
Yes.
Okay, 5 million zombies are running at them. And Billy somehow has these drones. And they play this operatic music, and she's doing this to her tablet. And every time she does that, these drones go in a circle and just kill every zombie. And she just, all like poetic. And I was like, this is how can this make post-production? How can you...
It's crazy.
It's got to be someone else directing the last couple episodes because it did not make sense. Oh my god! It was
crazy that, and then we got and then we got like her son, the Marcus' son, Simon,
a technical wizard.
Well, he's like 3 characters rolled into one. He's the technical wizard. he's like a cool guy, and he's the daughter of the he's the son of the person in charge.
Yep.
So it's like three characters rolled into one. And I tell you, the only thing that actually caught me off guard in the whole show was the fact that he got shot in the face.
Yeah, that was cool. By his mother. They'll figure out a way to bring him back next season or something. A clone of him or something. I'm going to clone him. That was shocking. I was like, no way. You actually did this to make up for all the dumb stuff in the show? So if you're a Resident Evil fan, watch the show because Gaz had mentioned about or Casino mentioned about the crocodile. There's also a super zombie that was being put into a tank and been sitting in the tank. And this, I think Bert was supposed to work on him and help him. And then the Umbrella Academy place exploded, and then the arm stuck out at the end of the super villain monster, Mr. X sort of character. So we'll see where that goes. I don't even know if I'll watch season 2. We probably should for stupidity's sake and just to do it. But yeah, if you're a Resident Evil fan, watch it. And it's
and if you enjoyed it, please find some mental health.
You listen, our tastes aren't the like the epitome of taste. So everybody likes something different, unless it's The Last Jedi. Why? But other than that, I guarantee some people will like this. Jonathan, he was saying, Big Boss was saying that he liked it. He liked the show. So, okay, which is fine. To each their own.
Yeah. What did you think about the umbrella guy, the guy with all the troops, and he ended up being caught by the Brotherhood with Jade, and it turns out he's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Just mowing all the zombies down.
Yeah.
like he played Call of Duty for 1,000 hours, and that's what he thought he was at.
Oh my gosh! You want to know what was funny? Is when at the end in episode 7, when they're on the island and all of those thousands of zombies are running down the hill that she was just killing with the tablet, and there was one scene, and this is true, and it's at the 43-minute mark. I went and watched it several times. Like, what the heck? How stupid can you guys be? They show a close up of a soldier, but in the background they're showing a soldier get attacked by a zombie on top. A zombie's running down the hill and takes out the zombie that was eating the soldier on the ground at the 43-minute mark. Yes. I was like, what the heck? Why would a zombie take out another zombie to save the... And it was only a quick clip, right? And they probably just left it in there for B-roll. I just couldn't believe it. 43-minute mark, episode 7 on Netflix, Resident Evil. Go watch it, and you'll see. It's around the 43-minute mark. You'll see the zombie take out another zombie who's on top of a guard.
The extra missed the mark and tackled.
And he tackled him hard, too, because he dove on him, and they rolled. I was like, oh, crap. That can't be CG, because nobody's stupid enough to CG another zombie taking out another zombie. Walkers greater than zombies, I guess. Well, these zombies are World War Z zombies, where they run after you. So that part is cool, but
almost all the time.
Yeah, unless exactly. Yeah, unless you are Jade, zombies won't affect you whatsoever because one will attack you while the others just watch. They
and I think it was just crazy how she was literally able to run opposite direction to the horde of zombies, and none of them thought, check this out.
Yeah, exactly. It's mind blowing.
Yeah,
I just
and she was running for like a straight 3 minutes.
Yep, there was a lot of stuff they did. I just think. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the planning, right? I'm trying to think of their planning sessions on what they thought would be a good idea to put in, to allow, to take out. How could they all... Because they had to have sat there and watched every episode when they were done. And wouldn't they have thinking, well, we should take this out. We should change this. Oh, we should probably change this. They're like, what's done is done. We'll see what happens. That's almost how it went. And it's frustrating. Because a Resident Evil TV show should be... epic, Like, here you are, guys. This is for you. Oh, not a Netflix TV show. Like, all right, let's try to make some money. Let's see what happens. We've been tasked with this. No, it just should be like, this is for you guys. Because Resident Evil is a massive, massive game. The following's huge. People love it, except for me. And it just should be like an ode to the fans. Here you are. This is the show you've been waiting for. They didn't do it.
It's like, as game adaptations go, this is not good.
No.
If you want a good game adaptation, like a good like show adaptation of a game, watch Arcane. It's amazing.
All right, so what would you give? What would you give Resident Evil? We're moving on. Resident Evil out of 10, Lee.
2.
A 2 out of 10. Wow. Okay, I'd give it a 4.
And I think that's generous.
I'd give it a 4 because I tolerated kind of like the first 6 eps, and then it took like I said, took a massive nosedive at the end. Last 2
it was really hard.
Okay, so you're gonna have to come up with a TV show for next time, and then not Arcane, and then and then we'll go through it. Okay, Resident Evil. We done with Resident Evil?
Yes.
Okay, Steph and I watched a show on Netflix called Clickbait.
Oh no.
No. This was outstanding. This was a top-notch show. It had Vince from Entourage from HBO. This show was awesome. I'm just saying you had no clue while you're watching it. I'm just throwing that out there. These are one of the shows we were like, oh, what? It was that good. It was definitely that good. Okay, Clickbait. Watch Clickbait. I don't think I need the spoiler alert for Phantom Menace since it's plus 20 years old. It's 22 years old. So.
Yeah.
All right.
It's under the.
Let's get into our main movie. I think we should do like a TV show and a movie. 2 weeks. That's enough time to watch even a show like Resident Evil.
I mean it depends on what it is.
We won't do 26 episodes of a first season or something. All right, we'll figure it out.
And if it's like a show with short seasons and it's got multiple seasons, you might only do like one season.
Yeah, at a time. Yeah, exactly. All right, Phantom Menace. Here we go. Here is the trek, the road. The road is now open to our Star Wars conversations. This is something Lee and I have bantered about for a few years. Star Wars. This is something that we talked about doing for a movie podcast for over a year. We've actually had a chat from a year ago, and it's finally now in full effect. This is episode 2 of our movie podcast, and I think Star Wars was the main reason of starting it. So we're going to get these movies out of the way, and then we'll do other things and stuff like that. So, Phantom Menace, here we are. This, of course, is the 4th movie in the franchise, classified as the first movie in the franchise. And Lee, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I mean, I've been enlightened after watching this again. I've gained a new perspective to this film.
Why? Tell me.
And because I can actually I can see because before the sequel trilogy, I always pinned this as being the worst Star Wars film.
You did over Attack of the Clones?
Always, and purely on the base that that I'd say that Attack of the Clones has got more action, and with this, I'd say it's not I'd say it's still worse than Attack of the Clones, but I can say that I've enjoyed it more than previously.
I cannot wait to talk about Attack of the Clones then.
Sure. And I just first off the title crawl, the screen crawl, it that sends you to sleep right away.
It puts you to sleep?
Yeah, the title crawl, right away.
Hey, Mark.
Whoa, that's a hat.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't. I seen you guys were starting the Star Wars part. That's the one part I did watch and stuff like that. So I just want to chime in and say hi. I'm
Oh,
not trying to distract you guys too long
it's
because
all
I'm
good.
out. But
Sure, sure.
All right, keep going, Lee.
Yeah, like I'm honestly trying to get the title call up.
You're seriously googling up the title crawl for the
Yeah.
Phantom Menace?
Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlie star systems is in dispute. Oh, that I'm hooked right away. Like you're kidding, right? Like
Lee, no one ever judges a Star Wars movie based off the scroll text at the beginning. No one ever. Mark is living the life right now. Yes, he is. He's fishing.
life could be a dream. Life could be a dream.
Lee, I can't believe this. You're complaining about the title, the scroll. Seriously.
For this one, yes, yes, hoping to resolve the matter of blockade and of deadly battleships. The greedy Trade Federation have stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. Ugh. It's hilarious though.
Wow.
But yeah. So moving on to like the rest of the film, score is phenomenal.
Of course. Star Wars.
John Williams, it's like it's really clever, and I'll mention something that happens in the end scene with John Williams's score.
Okay.
But it's like I think for the most part, minus like Liam Neeson and some other people, I'd say like the voice, like at the very least, the acting is very monotone.
Yep.
Like I think there's hardly ever emotion that you can really get off Padme.
Not even magnetize.
Oh yeah, but that was an episode. That was in Revenge of the Sith.
No, it was in Attack of the Clones. They said that too.
No, that was
magnetize. Are you sure?
Yeah, because that was when the invisible hand, the ship was falling.
All right, keep going.
Out of horizontal.
Because there were stupid sayings at the first little bit of Phantom Menace. Keep going.
Yeah. I kind of like the parallel between this and A New Hope, where it's like within the first 5 minutes, you get the introduction to the big villain of the trilogy being Vader in A New Hope and the Emperor, well, the Sidious in this one.
Yep.
And they end up going to the planet of their home. So Tatooine in A New Hope is Vader's home, and that's where the main characters had to go for the story. And in the Phantom Menace, the main characters go to the home of Palpatine, which is Naboo.
Yep.
And I think that's like an interesting parallel. Jar Jar Binks, he's a very unique character.
No. Did you just say Jar Jar's unique character?
Yes. It's a light way of putting it. And he serves a purpose in the story to a certain point. I'd say he's annoying, but his quirkiness can be appealing to the younger audiences, not me, because I never thought he was appealing.
No, his purpose was for the younger kids. I understand that.
Yeah. I think he doesn't serve a purpose on Tatooine. He should not have joined them on Tatooine.
True. Yeah, but how else are you supposed to catch somebody's tongue while they're grabbing fruit?
Exactly.
All right.
But I think like there was no point in having him go to Tatooine, but him being a part of like the Gungans and everything, that made sense.
Yeah, of
because
course.
he had a purpose to reoccur in that sense. I think Padme. I think like in terms of the Queen Amidala aspect. I think the decoy stuff was quite like clever because it was actually Keira Knightley who was the decoy.
Was it?
Yeah. So
I didn't know
the
that.
the decoy is Keira Knightley,
Cool. I
and
didn't know that.
but it's you kind of see it, actually
Oh, they
know.
caught a flounder.
Wow,
I'm
good
pretty
catch.
sure it's a flounder. Looks like a flounder.
That is correct.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lee.
I kind of like that like when you've got the handmaiden Padme, who we know is the actual queen, we see like she has to be in kind of in eye line with the Keira Knightley queen, because the decoy, who is Keira Knightley, has to keep referring to Padme, like looking to her for
Yep.
guidance, because she is literally not the queen.
Right.
Um, and um, and I kind of like that recurring thing, even though, like, I mean, speak for yourself, but Natalie Portman, I'm not a fan of her as an actor in
Uh-oh,
general.
James is gonna stone you.
Well,
That was
I'm
James's
surprised
first love.
oh dear.
He has many masterable stories
But
about her.
I can't say that I'm the biggest, I'm the biggest fan of her, but and particularly in this film, she's definitely better in the later films. But
Annie, you're
in this
breaking
one,
my heart.
yeah, well, at least she has emotion there.
No,
In
it's.
in this
We'll get to that when we get to that. That's just dumb.
in this, she was just so monotone. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, your people are dying. Like, show any kind of emotion.
Yeah. It's. All right, keep going.
They go to Tatooine. I get the stuff that happens there. Again, you got emotionless characters such as Anakin's
Newt
mom.
Gunray. Okay, I thought Shmi was the actress for Shmi was really good. Like when I watched
She
it
had
again.
more
I was,
emotion.
well, yeah, she said, oh, "I die every time, Annie. You can't do it. I die every time."
I don't know what kind of ethnicity she is then.
I have no clue. She was. I thought Shmi did pretty. Out of you watch all those actors, you watch Jake who plays little Annie. I thought Shmi held her own. Sitting with Qui-Gon Jinn and Natalie Portman and the great Jar Jar Binks. I thought Shmi did a pretty decent job.
Sure.
I want to say the pod race was really freaking epic. That I thought why that hasn't been in any future stuff or anything like that. That pod race was outstanding. The sound quality alone for the pod race, if you played on surround sound, it is deafening and incredible.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah. I thought that was excellent, and how it just plays out. It's quite it's well done. I mean, Watto is like is a different thing, as well as Newt Gunray. And
The Nubian Republic credits don't work on me. Republic credits will do. Not I'm a Targaryen. Like, come on. I get it.
I noticed how Qui-Gon uses the Force a lot in this film, particularly to sway people's opinions.
Yeah, which is cool.
And yeah, but it shows like how callous he is in using it. Hey, just we need to speed up the plot. Let's just get you to agree with me, and then we'll move on. And
I would be doing it all the time.
yeah.
You want to make me a sandwich.
And it's like, yeah, we don't want to be here on Tatooine. Just give me the engine. And it's like, no, Republic credits won't work.
Republic credits will do.
Yeah, and then they get to Coruscant, and it's an hour and a half into the film.
Coruscant. No, before we go to Coruscant, I need to bring up, and this is hated by many. I didn't care overall. What did you think of the introduction of the midichlorians?
It's been for me. It's like it's been a staple for the whole thing. So I get that there's mysteries that should remain mysteries in Star Wars, but I've like grown up knowing that midichlorians are a thing.
Okay.
So I've accepted it.
Alrighty.
And
Overall, I don't care. I said overall.
yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
But
No,
still, I get it.
but I think it doesn't ruin it for me.
Okay.
There are definitely things that should remain a mystery, and like the Force in general is quite a mysterious thing and should remain as such. Like the descriptions that we have of it are vague, and they should be.
Okay.
It shouldn't be defined in such a manner. But midichlorians, it's a scientific aspect. I like that.
All right. Now hold on one
Like,
sec. Hey,
yeah.
Mark, are you a fan of the midichlorians?
The midichlorian. I mean, when they introduced it, the only thing I think it just gave a little bit like more clarity of like what the Force is supposed to be and why are certain people more, more sensitive to like the Force and stuff like
Yep.
that. Like, I think like especially the one scene where Qui-Gon sends the blood sample to Obi-Wan, who confirms that Anakin's midichlorian count is higher than
Yoda's.
Yoda. That kind of set a tone just on how powerful he truly was not powerful, but how connected to the Force he was. So, I mean, I thought that set a good tone as to, why he was deemed the chosen one and stuff like that.
Yeah, which was cool.
I didn't mind it.
So, all right, then, let me go to you about this, Mark. What do you think of Anakin being baby Jesus and born of the midichlorians or the Force? Impregnating Shmi and sticking their Force wang in her and giving her a baby.
I wish, I'm hoping in the future they go into more detail on how he was conceived and stuff like that. Was it, Darth Plagueis who people say he's the one that created Anakin, but we don't know because nothing's ever truly been confirmed on
Right.
that. So I mean, it's all right. The one thing I didn't like about that whole chosen one part of it and everything is when Qui-Gon went to the Jedi Order and was telling him about it, and they just kind of like brushed him off, and I mean, just their just whole tone. If you were a fan and always wanted to be a Jedi growing up watching the original Star Wars movies, after seeing that Jedi Council, you did not want to be a Jedi.
No, that's true. He's too old. The heck with him.
Yeah, they sound like a bunch of grumpy old men just sitting there.
Yeah.
Griping about over small things, and that was their main problem, is that they were just in there and griping.
Yeah, exactly. So Lee, what about you and the Force Wang blowing their load into Shmi?
There's been many interpretations of how that's done, where it's like where the story of Plagueis is that he tries to influence the midichlorians to create life. There's potential that he could have done it. It could have been a case of that the Force itself saw what was happening and tried to counteract it, and that counter was creating Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so it and there's like a Star Wars comic as well where it's like it looks like it's Palpatine who's the one who creates Anakin. So in some like weird sort of sense, it's like, well, Palpatine's his dad, like in like a weird sort of
Annie, I am your father.
Yes. It's but like it's with that being like the legend stuff now, it's just mainly to be said that like Anakin is just the Jedi Jesus. But he's ultimately I'm A-okay with it. And I think if that's not explained, I'm totally good with that.
Okay.
Where he is literally conceived by the Force.
I can't wait to get to the Revenge of the Sith. I love. Yeah, we won't talk about that. Oh, but I love the part between him and Anakin at the little opera thing. Oh, it's so good, so good. All right, we're okay. So they get to Coruscant. Blah blah blah. Where do you want to go? Keep going. Keep going. Went to Coruscant. Got to meet him for the first time.
Yeah, and an hour and a half mark, we finally see Samuel Jackson and Frank Oz.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of hilarious how they've been put like really on the back burner for this.
All right, so what about the original Yoda that was used for the movie? Do you remember the original Yoda?
The puppet one.
The puppet one.
Yeah. I think prequel trilogy CGI for Yoda is pretty good. So having that updated to that, I'm okay with.
Oh yeah, it was terrible, Lee. The puppet Yoda for Phantom Menace was terrible.
Yeah, and if you think that Frank Oz, who voices Yoda, is the same guy who voices Miss Piggy from the Muppets.
A lot of the Muppets.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there was
Miss Piggy.
There was, I think, there. Well, who knows? It's the Muppets. I don't care. All right, keep going. No, he wasn't James. All right.
But but yeah, I'd say like it's all right. It's nice. It's nice seeing like I guess I call it an Easter egg now, seeing like all the different Jedi on the council.
Yeah.
But it's very minimal in terms of how it's done. I'm sort of like in this recent watch, I've sort of become a bit more interested in the politics aspect because even though like people say, oh, it's really boring and stuff like that, I'd honestly say it's to show that the politics
I didn't mind
is just as dangerous as the physical conflict.
Right, and so just like that, the showrunner trailer thing that was moving up, that just sets a precedence for the. There you go, Lee. You've kindly realized at the beginning that text at the beginning fits the politics part later on.
Yes, but it doesn't hook you. It's meant to hook you. You like the politics thing is a grind thing, ends up to grow on you. That it's not meant to be the initial standpoint of, hey, well, this is going to hook you. Like it's not going to hook you.
Well, the politics part sets the last tone, I guess. It does like a full 90-degree or 180 when they do the politics part, because there's no confidence in Chancellor Balaram. There's no confidence vote. Palpatine becomes the main chancellor, I guess, and then that is it right there, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. And just crazy.
And if you notice, like one of the other people nominated to be the next chancellor was Bail Organa.
Yep.
So I think that's it's a bit of an interesting thing. But yeah, like it's and it's like I kind of like that it was just sort of like put to the side a little bit, and then we go back to Naboo for the conflict.
Yeah, so hold on. Boss Nass I thought was crappy. I really didn't like Boss Nass. Spitting all in this. It's dumb.
I mean, that's Brian Blessed for you.
It was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, yes. I didn't like Boss Nass. I just thought that what they chose for this first, like the majority of the characters, like, you know what, let's try to make them as different as possible and as stupid as possible. But yeah, Boss Nass, we get rid of him. You the Mija Pudu. That stuff was just dumb with the other Gungans zapping them. That's towards the beginning, but so we go to the end. They form a bond. Let's jump into the final battle. I thought the Gungan droid battle actually was really cool. I enjoyed that.
And like you might say, it's like, well, it's with two sort of very like beige, sort of similar colored armies.
Yep.
It's like it can be hard to tell what's going on, but maybe that's kind of the point where it's like you don't really know who's winning. Like, yeah,
I think it was a contrast to the luscious green and mountainous area that they were fighting on.
Yeah, and also it's like, but the only thing that I would say I'm not a fan of is just Jar Jar slapsticking his way all the way through it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, if we had like because I think the CGI on particularly the droids, the battle droids, I think is pretty good.
Yes.
Like I quite like how they look.
Yeah, the
And
CGI, I had zero complaints. Mark, did you have any complaints with
yeah,
the CGI?
No, CGI looked good. The only complaint I had that battle is just the the way it made it come out. When they were talking about the plans on everything, it was basically like, okay, we're going to sacrifice all the Gungans, so they can distract the little army and stuff like that. And, I felt bad for the Gungans at that point in time. It almost looked like they were being used. You know what I mean?
Yo, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And like there was no other help for them. There was no humans there helping them at all. They were just dying for no reason.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
totally
Yeah.
get that.
You know what? I
If you
didn't even
think
clue
about
in. Usually, when you're going to sacrifice a race, the humans are kind of involved with the crew that they're going to sacrifice. But yeah, there was nobody.
There
Huh.
was nobody there to help them at all. They were out there fighting a war that they weren't even involved in.
They, they,
Just a
they,
distraction for a few minutes.
Yep.
yeah, they didn't think, oh, let's keep a couple of pilots behind and have them
Oh my
like
gosh, we'll get
kind
into
of
that.
bomb the area.
Misa don't like the Naboo. We'll get into that whole battle.
But it's like, yeah, but that in a sense was a quarter of the full scale of the battle.
Yep.
And I do like how in Star Wars they do have like the big battles in tandem with each other.
Sure.
Unlike the Resident Evil show, whether they just had the whole show having two aspects happening at the same time, and it was stupid.
So, okay, Anakin saving the show. Let's press this button and see what happens. Anakin's in space now with R2. Take it off autopilot, all of this stuff. Like, give me your thoughts on that.
My headcanon with that is that R2 is the one doing everything. Because R2 is like the astromech in the ship, and he's literally like doing most of the work for Anakin. And that's my headcanon for it, because like R2 is the astromech who flies in a lot of ships with a lot of different people, and he's got to have like some kind of competence.
So the movie makes us
himself.
believe it's Anakin, but you are not accepting that and thinking it's R2.
I think a lot of it is R2, where it's like, well, Anakin's just pushing buttons trying to get the stuff working.
Mark,
and R2 is like, well, yeah, why don't we just turn on the shields? And
Mark, what do you say
going.
about the Anakin flying the ship, pressing buttons, R2 in the back, blah blah blah?
I think somebody with no flight training at all. Only thing he's done was being a pod racer, and yet he can fly a ship out in space and stuff like that. So there ain't no way he was doing all that. That was R2 doing all that work.
Okay, I didn't even look at that point of view. I just assumed, hey, it's Anakin. He's the top dog. Let's go. He's gonna press buttons and see what happens. Blows up the whole Trade Federation.
I think him like flying. Sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No. Yeah, I mean, he just did everything incidentally. You know what I mean? There was no rhyme or reason to it. He just pressing random buttons.
Yes.
What are you making a banker?
Yeah. So it's like how I think some things were done by Anakin, such as flying into the Trade Federation ship.
Yep.
Like none of the other pilots were doing that kind of stuff. And like the spinning, that's a good trick, and like obviously that's
gosh.
Anakin.
That's so stupid.
But the actual I'd say the competency in flying and actual like fighting, that's R2.
Okay. All right. So Anakin
that's
saves
just
the
what I
day.
thought.
R2 and Anakin. Even though, like, I wanted to bring up the part 2 where they're in their Nubian ship and they're flying at the space, the Trade Federation shooting at them, and R2 and 3 other robots need to save the day. The pilot that was flying that ship was really annoying me as I was watching it. That little one did it. I thought that was so stupid. Anyways,
Yeah.
all right, we're at the end. One of my favorite lines out of the entire movie is at the very end. Chancellor Palpatine walks up to Anakin and he says, like, we'll watch your future with great interest or something like that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, what a great way to end it. Because we all know what happens. We already
Yes.
knew, but that was fantastic. I thought that was really cool. No movie trivia, guys, none. We don't want to give Lee any PTSD about trivia. All right.
We're not just going to skip over the lightsaber battle, are we?
Oh yeah, we could. We might as well. It was terrible.
What?
No way. That was amazing. Duel of the Fates made that. I am just.
Yes.
Battle,
What's that, Mark?
Star Wars. I thought that was one of the best battles in Star Wars.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Between Maul and Qui-Gon and
Obi-Wan. It is amazing. The Duel of the Fates is one of the greatest Star Wars songs of all time. Darth Maul is one of the greatest Siths of all time. George Lucas had no clue what he was
Thanks to the
doing.
Clone Wars.
I'm sorry?
Thanks to the Clone Wars.
Next to the Clone Wars.
Thanks to the Clone Wars.
Oh, no. Darth
Yes.
Maul in the very first movie, even before the Clone Wars, all that stuff, was amazing. I loved Darth Maul. He was cool. He had that double-bladed lightsaber. You're already tainted because you've seen all this great Star Wars stuff. But I'm just saying, when we saw this, I think it was like 24, I think, when this came out. Darth Maul was the coolest. We all, everybody in the world loved Darth Maul and thought he was incredible. Even after we seen it, it was a great battle. It was really cool. George Lucas is foolish to have Jar Jar Binks for 3 movies, but kill Darth Maul for the first one. There's so much, and I get the whole Count Dooku thing. I get all that, but there was so much more. I think Count Dooku was made up because he was like, oh crap, I killed Darth Maul. I'm such a moron. But either way, that was an epic battle. Music was perfect. That whole scene. And the saber battle, the fight, everything. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I'd say the choreography was great.
Yep.
The person who did the choreography with Darth Maul, he was called Ray Park. He's done plenty of stuff. He's excellent. A little fact about him was that when he was playing Darth Maul, he did not blink at any point, and other than when he got sliced in half by Obi-Wan.
Really?
So yeah, so every point that we see Darth Maul, he does not blink apart from when he's cut in half.
Now, why is that a fact? Because go ahead.
Because Ray Park wants to, I don't know, he just wants to bring out something different in the character.
Just with the constant cutscenes, there was no way somebody could sit there. It wasn't like on Darth Maul long enough to say, wait a minute, he doesn't blink.
It's Star Wars. There's an explanation for everything.
Jar Jar?
Yes. Well, have you heard the Darth Jar Jar theories?
That is nonsense people made up, and I guarantee if Lucas had done Darth Jar Jar, those same people that wanted Darth Jar Jar would have revolted and burned down George Lucas's place.
Sure.
It's more for comedic purposes. It is silly, and I can't talk about. We'll get to when we get to the Force Awakens stuff. That's when we chat about that. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, like I'd say the lightsaber duel was excellent. How it was all done, and my main issue was the fact that we kept having to cut away from it to see the other 3/4 of the fight. That's my main gripe. But the fact that with the whole fight, the only line that's actually said throughout the duel is Obi-Wan shouting no when Qui-Gon is stabbed, and stabbed in such a way that it can just be reversed in now due to the sequels. But so it just You know, I have my own disdain for that. And yeah, I thought it was excellent. The actual, like, yeah, it was all excellent. And the to get to the end where you were talking about Palpatine sort of saying, "We'll watch your career with great interest."
Hmm.
Um, I quite liked the musical sort of cue of like where you've got the everyone celebrating like ah, da, da,
Yep.
da, 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 da. That music, if you like slow it down and deepen it, it sounds exactly like the Emperor's theme.
Really?
Yeah, and it's meant and I think it's meant to signify that like yeah, everyone's celebrating, but underlying Palpatine's the one who's winning.
That's amazing. I like that.
Like
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh. Wow. Mark,
so
give me your
so
breakdown. Hold on, Lee. Mark,
I
give
think
me your
that's
breakdown
excellent.
on the lightsaber duel.
One of the best duels of the series by far. I mean, the music really made that whole scene
Yes.
even better. I think it was probably the biggest factor for that thing being so good is that just the music, just playing in the background. When especially when Obi-Wan took over the fight, you know, it was just completely epic. The only thing I didn't like is, of course, Qui-Gon being such a cool character introduced, him dying off so quickly.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know where you guys feel about Qui-Gon on your list of like all-time Jedi's from Star Wars and everything, but I think Qui-Gon is actually one of the most important Jedi's ever.
Yeah, with all honesty, I've never put a list of all-time Jedis or all-time Sith. I've never really thought about it. They were just there.
have.
They existed when they existed, and that's that. Would you say, Lee?
I have.
You have. Okay. Maybe I should
Yeah.
do that. Maybe at the end of the series, maybe at the end of all 9 movies, 10, 11 movies, 11 Star Wars movies, we should come up with our list.
But
Because if you
yeah, go on.
What's that, Mark?
if you listen to Qui-Gon and everything, like when he was telling the Jedi Council that about Obi-Wan being able to go to the what do you call it, the he was ready for the Jedi trials and stuff like that.
Yep.
That he needs to pay more attention to the living force and stuff like that. And that's one thing that none of the other Jedi Masters were doing, was actually paying attention to what the Force was telling them. Where Qui-Gon, he seemed like he was more in tune to what was happening in the Force. That's why he was so ahead of Anakin above everyone else.
Yeah.
And had he trained Anakin, I think things probably would have been different.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he to me, I think Qui-Gon was the wisest one at that time.
Wow.
And remember, he was the first one to accomplish the Force Ghost.
Yes. He didn't accomplish it fully because he didn't complete his training before he died. In order to become like a full Force Ghost. But yeah, he was on the route to being the first.
Cool.
I had a fish. I lost it.
Yeah, and it's like I think him dying seemingly like so quickly, like I think that's kind of makes sense because like well the Jedi haven't had to fight like a Sith warrior for like 1,000 years.
Yep.
So you could sort of see maybe like the competency in lightsaber dueling is sort of lacking.
Wow. Cool. All right, Lee, I just want to say, all right, you rank this as the worst Star Wars movie in the entire 9 movies of the Skywalker saga.
No,
Oh.
that was before the sequel trilogy. So if
okay.
we're talking about the first 6, this would have been the worst.
Mark, where do you rank this with the first 6?
With the first 6, I'm going to go Phantom Menace. I'll probably go number 4 or 5 on that list.
Okay, no, that's cool. Cool.
Are you talking from best to worst, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably number 4 or 5 on the list.
All right. Lee, what's your worst?
What out of the 6?
Yeah, did you just say Phantom Menaces or Attack of the
Yeah.
Clones? Okay, Phantom.
Phantom Menace.
Mark, what is your worst out of the 6?
Attack of the Clones is the worst for me.
Yes. Yeah, me too. All right, guys, we're in overtime here, and I'm pretty sure the movie TV podcast will be longer than what we expect because we love to chat about this stuff. Lee, anything else about Phantom Menace?
Not particularly. I've got one thing, but that can be saved for Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, cool. Mark, how about you? Anything left for Attack or Phantom Menace?
Not that I can think of. Outside of some really cool characters that they introduced, I do give them credit for that. I mean, you got Jar Jar, but introducing a couple new characters that were actually kind of cool and played really good in the future, like Qui-Gon, Darth Maul, of course, was excellent, and even Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu.
Yep. Yeah,
So we got some cool characters out of it.
I would watch a Mace Windu, Samuel Jackson, Disney Plus Star Wars show. I think that'd be cool.
Me too.
Cool. Alrighty. Everybody.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Anything else, guys? That's it.
I'm good.
Good.
Perfect. Wow. Okay. Chat, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. This is our Star Wars chat. This is our second episode, so we are going to work it and fine tune it and fix it and make it all presentable and have a good time. I will make sure I'm a little more organized. I had forgot all about the deaths at the beginning of just to cover some rips, and I will try to make it more. I kind of want like an interface as well. I'd like a GUI, a graphical user interface for everything, and so stuff would pop up and all of that. I will try to get that all fixed up just so people know exactly what we're talking about. Have a proper spoiler alert instead of this great big spoiler alert sign, and we will go from there. Cool. All right, yeah, no trivia, and that's it. So, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. What was that?
You said no trivia, huh?
No trivia. We don't want to give Lee any aneurysms or anything.
More homework.
Yeah, exactly. No, this was great. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you, everyone in the chat. We are ending. And this movie podcast is every 2 weeks. Have a lovely day. And this has been a wonderful time. So here we go. As for Lee and as for Mark, my name is Paul. You guys take care. Perfect. Thank you, everybody, for joining the chat. Mark, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm playing Sea of Thieves right now.
Yes, you are a real life Sea of Thieves.
I didn't think that, when I first played that game with you earlier this week, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did.
It's so much fun, man. Sea of Thieves is outstanding.
Good stuff.
Cool. Alrighty. What time we got? 10:54 my time. So it's what, 3:54? No, 2:54 your time. Lee.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's got an idea on what we're going to be doing next time?
Yeah. Did you hear about that Gaz guy though? I can't believe Gaz. This is just terrible.
What?
He said this is where we hear them talking about us now. So that's why I was like, did you hear about that Gaz guy? I can't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a Gato stuff. It sucks.
I've got pictures and videos about this Gaz guy. I just want to say, I won't say exactly what I got, but I will be messaging him later with a little shame on him. All right, everybody, take care.